Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Keedra, and I have another video for you today. I know y'all have probably seen my Instagram and my 60 of the DJI RS4 Mini. Well, today is the full review, and we're going to jump into it in just a second. Man, this setup is great for vloggers and content creators, and I am not lying to you. Before I get into it, I definitely want to go ahead and unbox this. So let's head back over to my house, and we're going to unbox this, and I'll show you everything that you're going to get in the box. I'll see you in a second. All right, so I hope you like that unboxing, and now since you know what you get, I'm gonna tell you what you can expect in this video. You can expect how to balance this gimbal the right way, because that is the most important part of this gimbal action. I'm gonna show you how to balance my A7R5 and a 28-70 or a 24-70. You gotta make sure that you keep under that payload. These lenses are full metal, so it works on here if you like running fixed lenses. But not only that, if you are a person that needs a cell phone gimbal, I know it's a ton of them out there, but they have a cell phone mount that you can go in a matter of seconds. But my very favorite thing that I love to run is the DJI Action 5. This DJI RS Mini, this is my new setup, man. I absolutely love it with the Ronin vertical with my phone mount. It is amazing. And what's cool about this gimbal is the tracking. The tracking is absolutely amazing. Now, right now, the tracking does not do like cars or anything at all, but it will track subjects. And so I'm here at Mopar Heaven, and I'm able to track people riding around and just be effortless with this whole system. You may say, Keedra, why in the world would you run a DJI Action 5 when it's already stabilized? Well, when you get ready to put an ND filter on here and you bring the shutter speed down because you want that motion blur, you're gonna definitely need it on a gimbal so you don't get all those artifacts, and that is life. Now, what I will say is if you don't need that, even if I don't bring my shutter speed all the way down, I love to run it on a gimbal because it is smooth. And before we jump into it, let me show you how smooth this is with this gimbal. I use this gimbal to run around being super light because I had to be there all day. And what's better than having a camera that is good as the Action 5 is the DJI RS4 Mini to make this the ultimate Pocket 3 on steroids. So in the next part, we're going to go over how to balance the gimbal. But before we go over that, I actually want to say some of the key features that have come out in this gimbal. They have a new Teflon coating, just like the RS4 and the RS4 Pro. And it makes balancing way easier because it just slides in and out when you are balancing this gimbal. Another thing is the new auto locking feature. The RS3 Mini did not have that in it, but this one has adopted it from the RS4 and the RS4 Pro. Take this gimbal from horizontal to vertical. And I wanted to show you that right now because I'm only gonna balance it one way. But just note that if you take this, it has a little dial back here that you loosen up and you press it in, and you're able to detach this from the gimbal. And you have a piece up underneath here that you can put the gimbal back on. So you want to press this in, lock it in, and you want to lock it. If you do this, you're still not ready to go. You need to balance this gimbal again because the weight has been distributed differently. So I know people say you can do it in under like a 30 seconds, and that's fine. You can, if that's what you want to do, a run and gun. But I will always take the time to rebalance this to make sure that it is perfectly fine. Now, the main thing when you get ready to start balancing, you want to make sure that you have all your cables and everything that you're going to put on your gimbal before you start balancing. When we talk about balancing, this is not balanced. You see how it's moving up and down? That is not balanced at all. So what I'm gonna do is this little pin right here, lever here, I'm gonna open it up and I'm going to move it back this way. So now it's back heavy. So I need to go back the opposite way. So I'm gonna move it until it is completely even and floating. Now the next step is you want to balance it to where this part stays straight ahead. And the key is, you know, when it's fully balanced on both these axes, when you can put it here or here and it does not move at all. And you want to unlock this lever and you're going to move the gimbal or the camera back and forth. And then we're going to make these fine adjustments to right here. And look, them fine adjustments, and then you just lock it back down and boom. So I'm still at 50. So now if I move it here or if I move it here, the gimbal is perfectly balanced on this axis. And you see it is completely off balance. So if I put it to the camera here, so if it's going this way, what do we need to do? I'll wait. All right, you guessed it right. We need to move this arm back this way. And I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna move it until it does not move over there. And you can move it in like just a little bit steps. So I know now that this axis is perfectly balanced. This axis, you want to go ahead and unlock it and you want to turn it 45 degrees and see where it goes. Move it back down and it's still there. So I'm gonna keep pushing it just a little bit more, just little minor steps. And there it is, it's perfect. If I unlock all these axes, right? My gimbal should just float. It should float like it was on. And right now it is on. I can move it in any position that I want to, and it's going to stay where I tell it to stay. And that's how you know your gimbal is perfectly balanced, just like that, before I've even turned on the gimbal. And here is the next part of balancing this gimbal. You will see a little green light that's right here. You know that this gimbal is balanced, but we're not done yet, because now we need to make sure that the motors can handle my setup. So you want to go here to this gimbal calibration and tap it one time and hit start calibration, and this thing is going to shake like a stripper and get on down. So it says it's done and it's complete. Just hit the OK. And now when I hit the back button, I know my gimbal is ready to go. I can move it anywhere I want to, and I don't get any red that's on this balance. Now, you know your stuff is off balance if this turns red whenever you move it to a position that it turns red. You need to go back and start this whole process over. Okay, so when you're ready to put this in active track, so it can intelligently track you, you want to make sure that your gimbal is in pan, tilt, follow mode. And the reason why you want it in pan, tilt, follow mode is if you have a subject that's going to be moving down and up, it has to know where to track, and it needs all the axes unlocked so it can do that. Now, if you only wanted to do pan follow, then you could just put it in pan follow. It'll still work there, but I highly recommend pan tilt follow. Now, when you go into the active track settings, you can swipe from left to right, and then you have composition. You can keep current frame, or you can center track subject or center tracking subject. So out the box, it's going to come as center tracking subject, and that where no matter when you turn it on, it's going to keep the subject in the center. Me, I like keep current framing because I like to do the framing myself. You got active track speed. You have slow, medium, and fast. I like to leave mine on medium for most applications, but you can go to slow. So I have my wife here in the back, and I'm gonna go back to 50. As you can see, the red light is on right now. So again, I like to keep my current framing, so I'm going to move my joystick into the center, just like so, right? And then I'm going to tap this button one time, and it's gonna turn green. Now it is active tracking her. So if she moves to the left or the right, go ahead and move. Slow. I have it on slow right now. So if I go ahead and hit the record button and have her to walk over here slow, like she's just normally talking on a video. Here we go, she can move all around. You see, I feel like that is so cinematic, and she can stop there and it'll go 360 degrees because there's nothing blocking it from going around. So she's going around and it's keeping her in the center or off center or whatever. It's keeping her in the frame. And it's cool. Now, if she moves really fast, it still tracks her in a smooth motion and it still works. I feel like that's so smooth and it's not as jerky. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change the active track speed to medium. Now it's on medium. Now go ahead and walk. Now you see that's in medium mode and she's moving like a bat out of hell. And then I'm gonna put it in fast. All right, now fast, now go. So look how she's moving. This is fast mode. So it's really good for when you're moving super fast for like sports. Okay, babe, you can stop. And I'm gonna put it back in slow. And then all you need to do is to tap her out is just tap it one time and the right light will turn red and double tap it again to recenter your gimbal. And if she does the okay sign, it'll stop the tracking, they turn red. And then if she does the peace sign, it'll stop the record on my gimbal. And you heard it stop. And I feel like if you're looking for a gimbal that can hold a mirrorless camera with at least a 24-70, this is the gimbal that you want to go with. If you have something that's heavier than that setup, you're gonna wanna go with the RS4. And then if you got something that's bigger than that, like an FX6, or you wanna run a bigger rig, then you want to go with the RS4 Pro. Here's one thing that I found while we were at NAB. I used this gimbal at NAB, and I found that when I was doing the tracking with so many people that talk with their hands, just like my wife, she just moved up and now it's tracking her again. If you move any kind of gesture, then it's going to grab. So I hope that DJI actually fixed that pretty soon. That's one of the things that I would like fixed, because it just kept tracking when somebody was, talking with their hands and stuff like that, or if I talk with my hands and you forget that you throw out the okay sign, it is very sensitive in that. So if they can make an update to where it's not as sensitive, or you got to hold it up for a couple of seconds before that it will start the new tracking, I feel like that will be great. But that will be my only gripe for this gimbal. Other than that, I think it's great. Who is this good for? Travel photographers, content creators, people who like to just run and gun. This is going to be your light setup that is going to work for you. And even if you wanted to do a movie or something like that and need some smooth tracking, just make sure that you move it from slow, medium, and fast to the application that you need. And if you like this video, this is what I want you to do. I want you to like, comment, and subscribe. And I want you to hit that bell button so you don't never miss another video from me. And this video has been sponsored by DJI. And until next time, I'm gonna see you in my next one. Peace.